Hey everybody, it's John. I'm coming to you from Pennsylvania. I'm making my very first YouTube video today and I'm really excited about it. I'm bringing to you a relatively new climbing method. I've drawn upon experience that I've gained from the arborist industry, folks who've done things similar to this. This technique is not DRT, it's not DDRT, it's not MRS. It is a stationary rope system, meaning that the rope stays in place as we climb. However, the rope is doubled, so technically it would be considered a doubled stationary rope system. The arborists and safety professionals and rescue professionals and hunters that I've exposed this to, well, they're just calling it the JRB method, that's what a lot of people call me, so hopefully that'll stick. And so I'm going to do a quick demonstration today. I'm going to try to make this as realistic as possible. In fact, I've never climbed this tree. Just did my throw ball a few minutes ago, and it's up and over, and it's an imperfect crotch. My ropes are 12 inches apart at the top of a very rough barked black walnut. So I'm going to get up in that, and I'm going to do a climb, and then I'm going to say a few more words. But the key things about this system, and this I really realize is a pretty bold claim, but I believe this method is faster, both on the ground and on your way up, than almost any method you might try. I believe this method is safer because it incorporates full redundancy the whole way. I'll talk you through a little bit of that. And the last point is that it is versatile. You know, as per the particular crotch I went over, I can go up a lot more trees and not be searching for the perfect tree crotch or the the perfect throw. Okay. So here's how I walk in the woods. I've got my rope over my shoulder, and I've got some pre-tied stuff on this. A hallmark of this design method is that there are no life-sustaining knots. Nothing can kill me that is based upon a knot that I tie at this tree. Okay, so the important stuff is already tied, and it can stay tied the entire season. This method was devised mostly for a hunter, but it's got applicability in other industries. Recreational tree climbers may use it. It could even be used in an arborist application. Although arborists are more likely to invest in, the kind of mechanical equipment that makes their job really fast. And, hunters are less likely to do so if we're just trying things out. This is not the only way, but this is my way. Okay. So I put that up over the crotch. I am going to leave my throw line attached to the bottom. That's another thing that you really can't do very well with other systems. Okay. And so now, pay attention to the way I get into this. On my bridge are two Veners. The purpose of one of them is to simply clip into these two lines. The second point of attachment is for emergency purposes only. I call this my best friend. Best friend is the guy or the gal who's always around. They're always there, they're never really doing much, dragging their butt around. But if you ever needed somebody, they'd be there to save your butt. And that's what the best friend is. And this does involve tying a quick clem heist knot on my doubled rope. 1, 2, 3 wraps and through. And where am I going to attach this? Well, that's up to you. You can attach it anywhere on your bridge, but if you want to give your system full redundancy all the way down to your saddle, I'm wearing what we call a diaper sling, made of webbing. Goes underneath my saddle. So if my entire saddle failed, I'm safe. The only things in this system that can take me out of the game are the tree and my primary climbing line. Everything else is redundant. Okay, and now my third point of attachment is my foot loop. And a foot loop is used in transition only. Also makes a good doubling for a foot platform. I found I don't need a foot platform because I've got a foot loop. Now you can climb with 2 feet. We'll climb with 1. I tend to climb with 1. But if you don't have the same, strength profile, we're all getting older, you can climb with 2 feet. This method allows you to climb a leaner just as easily as it does a tree where your feet are on the trunk. And so I'm going to demonstrate it away from the trunk. Okay. And so the method is fairly simple. It's an old-fashioned sit-stand method where I sit, I bring up my foot loop, get under gravity here, and I stand. Slide my knots up, slide my best friend up, advance my foot loop. And repeat. So again, never went up in this tree before. What I like about it as a hunter is that I could get myself in between any of these limbs and crotches and have the opportunity to turn around whenever I need to. My crotch is 29 feet. I know that from the length of my throw line. So I'm approximately 25 feet. I'm now going to transition into descent mode. I mean, obviously, I'm not taking any time to set up a platform or get comfy. We're just demonstrating the method. I'm going to remove my foot loop, which is not an integral part of the system. If I drop it, no problem, I'm safe. I'm going to engage a Munter friction hitch. This is not technically a hitch. Everyone should know, especially in a rescue or emergency situation. Now, one of the things that makes a climbing method inherently safe is that at any point during the climb, up, down, or during the sit, we can let our hands off of the system and be safe. And this exhibits that. Not only does it exhibit that, but my best friend knot isn't really doing anything, right? It's just along for the ride. I'm a big advocate of coming down nice and slow. I like a lot of friction distributed on several parts of the system. And you don't burn out your ropes. Don't burn out, heat, of course, is the way friction is manifested in the system, and heat indicates wear that you don't need. So I like to come down slow. Disengaging is pretty simple. I think you could imagine I won't take the time to pull my rope back, but because of the fact that the paracord loop is still on there, I don't have to worry about monkeying around with that in the dark. Okay, so I said it's faster. I mean, I didn't time that. I actually never time my climbs because safety is the most important thing. But I think I go, about 30 feet in 3-4 minutes or so with setup included. And you saw the pace, it's a 1-to-1. In terms of safety, again, everything is fully redundant, and the lack of crucial knot tying is really important because knot tying is an error-prone exercise. It brings time into the equation, and it brings safety in. Tie them all in advance, I can inspect them, test them. And again, I believe it's more versatile given the variety of different crotches I can go over. I can go over 2 crotches and climb up in the middle of a tree. It's, as you saw, it's a clip and climb method. Lastly, I want to leave you with kind of a disclaimer of sorts that this is not instruction. This is John demonstrating the way he climbs trees. I don't recommend you try this. I didn't even give you enough information. I didn't even tell you what knots I used intentionally. We could do that at a future time. If you're interested in learning more about what I'm doing, I'll find time to post it. Just subscribe and I'll make more videos. But at any time during this process, you need to understand that you take the responsibility for your own safety. I recommend the use of personal protective equipment. I intentionally did not wear gloves today because I wanted you to understand that I'm not killing my hands using this method, even though, again, gloves are recommended, as is a helmet, particularly when you're breaking in any kind of experimental method. And lastly, the reason I'm doing this is really to give back. A lot of moms and dads out there, I know grandmas and grandpas who are training their grandkids how to hunt. I want you to do it safely. I might not have the opportunity to pass this along to my own kids. They have special needs, and for me it feels good to have hopefully a generation to pass along my experience. So thank you very much, and I hope to see subscribers. Thank you.